Hey, what's up? I'm Brian Goulet of the Goulet Pen Company, and this is going to be a quick look at the new TWSBI 580AL. I think it's pronounced AL, A-L, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's basically a TWSBI 580 with a couple of aluminum parts in the pen. Now I literally just got my hands on this pen, and I know that the first question that I'm going to be getting about this is what makes this pen different than the regular 580? Why is it $10 more? This pen is $60, the regular 580 is $50. So what's the difference between the two? And that's really pretty much the point of this video, and I'm gonna show that to you right now. Here's the TWSBI 580, here's the TWSBI 580AL. If you're looking at the two pens, they're exactly the same size, exactly all the same, everything, basically, except for a couple of parts on the inside. Take a cap off. The caps are exactly the same, so they're not even worth talking about in this video. Looking at the pens, okay, you can tell that there's something different going on in the grip, and there's kind of something different going on back here. Now, the one thing I will say is that this pen that I have right now, this is the silver version. There are going to be colored versions of the aluminum pen as well. Those are going to appear a little more drastic. This one isn't as drastic because the silver kind of matches some other parts in the trim, so it's not going to seem quite as intense, but it's at least going to point out to you what the different parts are. So if you actually remove the nib unit, which is fairly easy to do, just kind of grip up here and then twist. You'll be able to take the nib unit off, and the nib and everything is exactly the same, but it's just this grip piece that's a little different. It's plastic on the regular 580 and it's aluminum on the other one. So this piece right here is the main difference, at least on the grip portion of the 580AL, okay? So that's the one part, and then on the back end of the pen, the body and the back finial and everything is exactly the same. It's really the guts of the pen that are different. So let me scoot these guys out of the way here. I'm gonna grab my little TWSBI wrench that's supplied with every pen, which is really kind of cool that TWSBI does that, because for fiddlers like me, you get to mess around and take it apart. So you get this little TWSBI wrench, you just unscrew the finial here, filler knob, whatever you want to call it. The wrench fits right on there, and you screw it clockwise, and it will pull the mechanism right out of the pen. So the body is the same on both pens. You really don't need to worry too much about that because there is nothing different about them. But you'll see as soon as I take off the aluminum one here, what's going to be different. Voila. So bodies are the same. Done. Now looking at the two parts of the pen here, it becomes a lot more obvious what's different. Really, the only thing that's the same is the piston seal, and then this little back piece here, which you can call it the filler knob or whatever. TWSBI in their literature calls it the end cap, so whatever you want to call it. And if you actually take all these pieces apart, you'll see there's actually several pieces in here on both pens. Voila! So the end cap is exactly the same. The piston seal is exactly the same. I'm getting a little grease on my fingers. The pieces that are different is this piece right here. It's called the screw. That's what TWSBI calls it. It's also known as like a piston rod, if you want to call it that. Plastic on the 580, aluminum on the 580AL. This piece right here, TWSBI calls the connector. That's aluminum instead of plastic. And then this piece is the screw bolt. So basically the guts, the inside, are metal instead of plastic. And that's really, it's going to be more durable over time. It's going to be less likely to wear and things like that. Aluminum's more expensive to machine than plastic. So that's where you're getting your price difference. And I'll spare in this video actually putting it back together because I talk about that in another video that I cover. But at least you should have a good idea of what makes this pen different at this point. All right, well, hopefully that clears up everything about the TWSBI 580AL. If you have additional questions, you know what? That's totally okay. Go ahead and ask in the comments, and I'm more than happy to help you out. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube if you like this video and you want more like it. And as always, right on.